Hello, friends. Good afternoon to you all. I'm back with a bang with the second chapter, that is the Lost Spring. I hope you've gone through the first chapter, that is the last lesson. Now here we are recapitulating. That means we are trying to revise the Lost Spring, which is written by Anis Jung. Okay, I'm Muhammad Kazim Sheikh, welcoming you to my YouTube channel, and I hope you've started subscribing me. Okay, so here, first and the foremost, I'll give you a bit of introduction of this particular eminent author, Anis Jung, who is the writer of the Lost Spring. Okay, now Lost Spring is basically just an excerpt from his from her book, that is the Lost Spring, Stolen Childhood, Stories of Stolen Childhood. That is the whole book novel, and from that this particular small part is taken in the book, that is the Lost Spring by Anis Jung. So we'll continue. Who is Anis Jung? First and the foremost, an author par excellence. She was born in 1944, and a journalist, an author, columnist for newspapers. That means various feathers in her cap, and a very versatile personality, and well known in India and abroad. And if you talk about her well-known works, that is Unveiling India. It was a chronicle of the lives of women in India. That means you can say she worked for women empowerment. She worked for gender equality, and she is well known for the depiction of Muslim women behind the parda. As you know very well that in Muslims there is a custom of parda, that is parda system is there. So she worked in a way against it for the what we say emancipation of women from this particular. You can call it as an evil parda system. Okay, so we'll read here the this particular chapter, that is the Lost Spring. Actually, this Lost Spring is divided into two parts. First part deals with the rack pickers of Simapuri. Where is Simapuri? Near Simapuri is near Delhi, just at the outskirts of New Delhi. Okay, first part is dedicated to the rack pickers of Simapuri, and second part is dedicated to the Bengal makers of Bengal makers of Firozabad, UP. But if you talk about here, the theme is parallel. Okay, theme is same. Okay, we'll talk about the theme as well as sub theme. Today we'll discuss about the first part of this particular chapter, that is the Lost Spring. The first part is the rack pickers of Simapur. This is the first part today we'll discuss. Okay, now first let us talk about theme and the sub themes here in this particular first part. As I told you, this particular first part is dedicated to the rack pickers of Simapuri. That is rack pickers of Simapuri. Simapuri is just at the outskirts of Delhi. I hope you are understanding. So first, let us discuss about the. Let us talk about the theme. What is the basic theme over here? Theme: mind numbing poverty. This is the basic theme, isn't it? Mind numbing poverty existing in Simapuri among the rack pickers and the bangle makers of Firozabad, resulting in the physical, psychological, and social repercussions. Okay, now here I've taken that, as I told you, the theme is common. Okay, so you can consider this particular theme for this first part also. What is that? The mind numbing poverty existing in Simapuri among the rack pickers, resulting in the physical, psychological, and social repercussions. Okay, the rack pickers of Simapuri, they suffer. Most of the people in Simapuri, they have no option but to do rack picking only, isn't it? So how this rack picking affect them? This is not a, what we say, coveted job you are doing, isn't it? You know, very coveted or very prestigious job, out of compulsion they are doing. Okay, so how this result in the physical, psychological, and social repercussion means natije. What are the consequences? Okay, naturally consequences are there. Why? Because backpacking is that particular job through which you cannot make both ends meet, or you cannot keep body and soul together. Okay, and one more important thing: who are these rack pickers of Simapuri? These rack pickers, they are basically the squatters or the Bangladeshi migrants who have come to India illegally. Okay, so sub theme, if we talk about, ये समझ में आया होगा आपको. Theme I have talked. Now what is the sub theme over here? The lackluster. See the first point, the lackluster attitude of government, administrators, politicians, society towards them. This is the sub theme. How? Of course, their condition is very, very bad, isn't they? Are really suffering. But then the question is, what is the attitude of the government towards them? Isn't it? The approach of all the stakeholders of the society. Who are the stakeholders? The government, administrators, politicians, society. How? What is their attitude towards them? Lackluster, very negative, apathy shown towards them. Isn't it? Neither sympathy nor empathy, but apathy shown towards them. That is the first sub theme you can look over here. Then second, the horrifying problem of child labor in India, yet not addressed despite 73 years of independence. Isn't it? Still, we have so many rules and regulations, we have so many laws in India, but unfortunately, the problem in India is that laws are not respected in India. The laws are not at all respected in India. The laws are not at all uh, you can say draconian laws are there in India, but when it comes to practicing, executing the laws, are not able to implement it in a proper manner. So still the child labor existing in India. Okay, despite 73 years of independence. Okay, so this is a big problem in India. Next, let us talk. This is a picture you can see. The picture depicts a child labor, you can call it a rag picker. See the building, see the skyscraper over there at the behind this particular child, you can see, isn't it? So this shows the paradox called India. Got it? Uh, Paradox. India is like a paradox. On one hand, there is filth, there is squalor, there is dirt, there is poverty, but on the other hand, there is what? Uh, an India which is very, very posh, which is leading a luxurious life. Okay, so that is the difference between India and Bharat. Bharat in Bharat, poverty exists, and in India, India is shining. Unfortunately, we can say, but Bharat is not shining. Okay, now, appropriateness of title. Why we can say this particular title is appropriate when we say the Lost Spring. Now, the Lost Spring, this particular title is very, very apt. Okay, the reason is that why it is very, very apt, because you see what this particular child, if you see, don't you think that the childhood of this particular child is stolen? Don't you think that she has lost the spring of her life here? When we say stolen childhood or the spring of life, and then we talk about the childhood stage. The childhood stage is considered as the spring season for the children, for human beings. Okay, just like when there is spring season in our life, it brings joy, doesn't it? Whenever spring season is there, when the fall season has gone, doesn't it? Fall means patjhad, but when the spring season comes back, what happens? There is greenery everywhere, isn't it? The earth starts smiling. Similarly, in a person's life, the childhood stage is considered as the spring season. But so spring season is a metaphor for childhood. Unfortunately, these children, they have no access to that particular what we say spring. Right from the beginning, you start working. Okay, you can see this particular girl. Is there any spring in her life? Is there any childhood, proper childhood in her life? Or that particular childhood is lost? Yes, that childhood is lost. No spring in their life, because right from the beginning, they have to work like adult people. वो बड़े हो जाते हैं बचपन का लुत्फ उठाए बगैर. So that is why the title is very, very apt. What is the title? The title is apt. Why? Because of the wonders, preciousness, joys of childhood stolen from them, from the big people, the stakeholders of the society, isn't it? uh, the You can call the people of society, the administrator, the politician, the policeman. All together, they have stolen this childhood from them, isn't it? So we have to blame all they are thrown into mind-boggling toiling and suffering. So that childhood is snatched from them. That particular spring season is snatched from them, and they are thrown into mind-boggling toiling. Toiling का मतलब extremely hard work. Hard work is good, but that hard work which takes you to somewhere, isn't it? Then it is good. But if some toiling is there, extreme hard work is there, because of which you are not getting your destination, but you're suffering, you're physically you're suffering, mentally you're suffering, psychologically you're suffering, then it is of no use. So these children are thrown into mind-boggling toiling and suffering. And the fall season in their life arrives before the sweet, charming spring season. Very important point, isn't it? फॉल सीजन, जो पतझड़ का मौसम है, वो उनकी लाइफ में स्प्रिंग सीजन के आने से पहले आ जाता है। बसंत का बसंत ऋतु जिसको कहते हैं वो आती ही नहीं है इनके लाइफ में। डायरेक्टली द फॉल सीजन कम्स इन देयर लाइफ। दैट इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी शॉकिंग। सो द title is very very appropriate. I hope you are able to get what I'm trying to convey here, isn't it? So the title is very very appropriate. Now let us talk about the rag pickers of Sima. Who are these people? Where is Simapuri? It's a small town near Delhi, yet miles away from it. Very important it is. Simapuri is a small town near Delhi, yet miles away. That means it is in the neighborhood of New Delhi, but miles away from. Now, miles away from Delhi. This is a metaphorical statement. The reason, though it is in the neighborhood of Delhi, but is devoid of all the necessities of life, basic civic amenities that is derived. If you talk, if you talk about Delhi, Delhi has all the luxury. The standard of living in New Delhi is comparable, very very high. Quality of life is best. All the civic amenities are there. It is the capital of India, but alas, the neighborhood town, that is Simapuri, is devoid of everything. No civic amenities are there. Quality of life horrible. Standard of living हॉरिबल, isn't it? And if you reach Simapuri, Delhi से अगर आप सीमापुरी आओगे तो आपको ऐसा लगेगा you are thrown into a totally different time and space. And who are these people residing in Simapuri? They are the inhabitants. That means the inhabitants are Bangladeshi squatters. Who are the squatters? Squatters actually means those who are staying illegally somewhere. Okay, so they are the Bangladeshi. After the creation of Bangladesh in 1971, what happened? A lot of chaos, anarchy was there in East Pakistan. They crossed the border and they came to India, and maybe on humanitarian ground they are staying over here. Now, what happened? The children over here, nearly 10 to 15,000 rag pickers are there here. Can you imagine? And they are thrown into rag picking because there is no job over here. Dawn to dusk, सूर्य उदय से लेके सूर्यास्त तक, what they are doing, scrounging means searching the heaps of garbage. What it is, for what? For the for something which they can sell, plastic polythene bags or something like that, isn't it? Polythene plastic bottles, so that they can sell and they can earn some bucks. Their miserable condition is very very horrifying. You can see the picture. They exist in the garbage, they exist in the heaps of garbage, scrounging always. For them, garbage is gold wrapped in wonders. And one of the boys who was rag picking at that particular time, he told that for us, garbage is gold wrapped in one. Now, this is an exaggeration. Here is a literary device used over. The last point I'm talking about, the last point here, it's a, if you talk about literary device, what is this literary device? The literary device is hyperbole. I hope you uh, uh, hyperbole. Hyperbole here means what? Exaggeration, exaggerating something. Okay, so for them, garbage is gold. Now, this is an exaggeration, isn't it? Why? Because garbage cannot be gold wrapped in wonders. Isn't for normal people, garbage is garbage. It's it's something filthy, isn't it? For but children, it is like wrapped in wonders. Why? Because on many occasions they find something precious, something valuable here. Is it clear? Sometimes finding precious things, sometimes finding 1 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin or a silver coin. So whenever they get something, the temptation to rag, it increases in them, isn't it? And they continue this particular rag picking always. I hope you understood, isn't it? So यहाँ पर I hope you understood this literary devices, the metaphorical statement as well as this hyperbole. Hyperbole is exaggeration, blowing something out of proportion. Okay, so now further I will brief you regarding the children of Simapuri. Okay, very pitiable existence. You feel sorry for them, malnourished. They are completely what we say malnourished. They are malnourished. They are malnourished. No hope, no dreams in the eyes, completely malnourished, they're not able to eat proper food, so naturally they were malnourished, no hope, no dreams in the eyes. And if you're doing this particular job, that is rack picking, it is not a, what we say, it is not that very, very prestigious job you are doing, isn't it? So that's why the children were malnourished, no hope, no dreams in the eyes. How can you have dreams when you're doing rag picking, isn't it? Then you will find them always in rags, without footwears. Parents are without any right of citizenship. So you'll always so you'll always find the children of Simapuri uh, malnourished, always in rags, without footwears, and the parents. Why? Because the parents are Bangladeshi migrants, so that's why parents are without any right of citizenship. Got it? Naturally, uh, if you're not the citizen of India, because you are the illegal migrant, so you cannot receive the citizenship. You'll not have the rights as Indian citizens. Okay, so only on humanitarian grounds you can get the ration, and they used to get ration, but that ration also is not appropriate. That's why the children, they have no option but to help their parents, isn't it? In earning, and that's why they are not going to school. Got it? There are no schools in Simapuri, and they have no choice. That's why they have no choice but to opt for rack picking. Why? Because the employment opportunities are also not here. Nobody pay attention to them. But why? Because they have no right to vote. So naturally, if they have no right to vote, then governments or politicians apathy will be there. उनको भी कोई लेना देना नहीं. So that's why the pitiable condition continues. Okay, now let us talk about Sahib Alam. Okay, now this story, first part, we are talking about the author met friendship with a particular boy named Sahib Alam. He is a rag picker from Simapuri. He struck a friendly chord with the narrator. Who is the narrator? The that particular author, Anis Jung. Name most ironical. This is the third literary device. Sahib Alam is the ironical name. Try to understand. Contradictory name. Why? The meaning of Sahib Alam in Arabic is Lord of the Universe. Lord of the Universe. अगर आप पूरे जहाँ के शहंशाह हो आप, Lord of the Universe. That means, okay, everything is for you. Everything belongs to you, Lord of the universe. But unfortunately, this boy, though his name is Sahib Alam, but he's deprived of basic necessities of life. So that's why the name is what? Very, very ironical. Once narrator asked him amusingly, if she opens a school, would he come for studies? एक बार ऐसे मजाक में उसने नरेटर ने पूछ लिया कि भाई मैं अगर स्कूल खोलूंगी तो क्या आप पढ़ने आओगे? तो साहिब took it seriously and inquired after some time whether the narrator built a school or not. So simple. This particular person is the rag picker. They want to go to school. They have heard that other children are learning, isn't it? They are studying, isn't it? They want to go to school, but unfortunately, they have no option, isn't it? So that's why when the writer in an amusing manner told that if I'll open a school, जैसे हम बच्चों को मजाक में बोल देते हैं, so in a very impromptu tone, she said, अगर मैं बेटा स्कूल खोलेंगे तो आप पढ़ने आओगे, तो उसने उसको seriously ले लिया, दिल पे ले लिया. And after a few days, what happened? He ran away. He approached this particular lady and said कि आपका स्कूल तैयार हो गया क्या? So that is something very, very touching, emotional. Their lives full of empty promises, giving assurances to heal their darkened life. Their lives are full of darkness. And many times what happens, the administrators, politicians, they give assurances. कि हम ये करेंगे आपके लिए, वो करेंगे, but these promises are always empty promises. Okay, nothing else. Okay, empty promises to soothe them, to soothe their darkened lives, but nothing happens. I hope you are understanding. Now, Sahib Alam got a new job. Now, at the end of the first part of the chapter, the narrator informs that Sahib Alam has a good job. Now what happened for he left rag picking and he got a new job, and in job as a tea vendor. And as a tea vendor, he started earning 800 rupees and meals, both time meals also, that means lunch as well as dinner. दो वक्त का खाना भी मिल जाता था, and 800 rupees. Good. 800 rupees plus two times meal. But he was not at all happy. The reason why he was not happy, because he lost his carefree look. अब यहाँ पे एक वापस से लिटरेरी डिवाइस आई है. As a rag picker, he was the master of his own. कभी भी निकल जाना, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलने वाला, कहीं पर भी चले जाओ, isn't it? He was master of his own. Now, steel canister seems heavier than his rack picking bag. At present, he is not the owner of his life in a way. He is not the owner of his job. Why? Because he works under the owner of the tea stall. So that's why he lost his carefree looks. Got it? So now when he's carrying that steel canister of tea or milk, that seems heavier as compared to the rack picking bag, which was lighter. Now this is again a metaphorical statement. The steel canister seems heavier than his rack picking bag. Metaphorical statement. Why metaphorical? कहने का मतलब ये है कि it's not about the physical weight, it's about the burden which is there on his shoulder. When now he's working under the owner, so the more burden is there on his shoulder as compared to, though he was not earning as much as he is earning now. At that particular time, he was not earning much, but then at that time, he was having that carefree look on his face, isn't it? He was master of his destiny, but now is like a puppet, isn't it? He's not free. Puppet whose strings are in the hands of his master, that means tea owner. एक वक्त पे आना है, एक वक्त पे आपको जाना है, like that it is. Okay, so he was not very happy with this particular new job. Now let us come to the moral message. It's a wake up call for all the stakeholders of the society, isn't it? हमको ये नहीं सोचना कि वो बांग्लादेशी हैं इसलिए कुछ नहीं करना. We all are connected, whether you belong Indian, Bangladeshi, or you belong to some other nation. We all are connected. That connectedness is there. So that's why there is a wake up call for all the stakeholders of the society, isn't it? Who are the stakeholders? The movers and shakers of the society, administrators, politicians, celebrities, isn't it? All. So let us save their childhood. A bacha, Indian ho, चाहे बांग्लादेशी हो, बच्चा बच्चा ही होता है, isn't it? Let's bring back spring season in their life. Let's take this particular oath, resolution. Let's rehabilitate them on humanitarian ground. ये नहीं सोचे हम कि oh they are the Bangladeshis, so no need to rehabilitate. Something should be done for them. Literary devices which are used over here is uh, garbage is gold. मैंने बताया था hyperbole. Rack picking is a fine art. अगर आप chapter पढ़ोगे sorry, तो एक और चीज लिखी हुई यहाँ पे, for them rack picking has assumed a fine art, or rack picking has become like a fine art. Okay, now this is again an exaggeration, hyperbole. Fine art हमको मालूम है क्या होता है. Art is what we know very well. Rack picking cannot be an art. Okay, so this is an exaggeration. Just used the author used this two hyperboles in these two sentences. Why? Just to create impact, just to showcase the grave condition of the children. Very close to Delhi yet miles away. इसके बारे में बताया कि ये metaphorical statement है. Very close to Delhi, physically very close, yet metaphorically miles away. In what terms? In terms of civic amenities, in terms of quality of life, in terms of standard of living, isn't it? This particular miles away from Delhi, the Simapuri. If you reach Simapuri from Delhi, you'll feel as if you have come to a totally different time and space. And similarly, lost spring is a metaphor for lost childhood from their life. Sahib Alam, I told you this is an ironical name. Sahib Alam is the name of the rag picker. The name is Sahib Alam, Lord of the Universe, but Lord of the Universe is doing rag picking. This is something very, very ironical. Okay, I hope you have understood what I've taught. For more details, you can go back to the uh, chapters which I uploaded earlier in the month of maybe April or March or April. So go for the detailed explanation over there. Tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, I'll upload the second part of the chapter. Thanks a lot for watching the all the best. Happy learning. Doesn't it? Enjoy your life.